I'm running out of time to figure it all out. This year I'm turning 40. I leave for Japan in less than 4 weeks and I want to pack light. My Ricoh GR3X, it broke. My Fuji X100 pre-order back-ordered, so I ended up ordering a different camera altogether. The 40mm f2.5 will make my Sony kit much more compact, but do I need any other lenses? The book, Decisive, How to Make Better Choices, made me take a long, hard look in the mirror. The authors talk about 3 bad habits that indecisive people are constantly guilty of, and a big decision I made 15 years ago ended up changing everything. I'm Jack, a scientist by day, a street photographer by night. Sony's 40mm f2.5, only 173 grams, aperture ring, custom controls, dust and moisture resistance, metallic, cold to the touch. The catch, it costs $600 US, 1,000 Australian bucks, and it's only f2.5. Other than style, what are we actually paying for? I was 25 when I graduated college and had 2 choices ahead of me. Keep working in academia as a scientist or leave and do something else. Science is competitive, grueling, with no job security, but the alternative was a complete unknown. By process of elimination, I whittled 50 different job opportunities down to 2 big applications, one in science and one outside of it. I'm a prime shooter, love both 35 and 50mm, but can never decide between the two. This is a classic example of binary thinking, a shortcut for our brains to focus on only 2 options to seemingly simplify our decision. But why not both? With the very small Sony a7CR, I can pack both 35 and 50 and let the megapixels take care of the rest. I could also downsize to f1.8 lenses and shed even more weight, but space in the camera bag is just half the creative battle. There's still the uncertainty. If you're using the right lens at the right time, 40mm is a great one lens to do it all. Wide enough for most of the 35mm frame, one step closer for emphasis on your subject, but not as restrictive as a 50mm. It's mathematically closer to our eye's field of view than either the 35 or 50. Nothing's exaggerated. Nothing's too close, just a pleasing visual diary of what's happening around you. It's perfect for calm travel documentary photography, which is complemented by the small form factor of this 40mm. But if you're going for that compressed telephoto look with beautiful bokeh, this is only f2.5 after all. I spent my 20s trying to fit in, worked non-stop through my 30s to stand out. As I get ever so close to 40, I'm starting to realize all the energy I've wasted on things that don't matter at all. It's hard to change our preconceived notions even in the face of brand new information. My photography bias is this: I don't want any lens slower than f2. It's why I don't own any f2.8 or f4 zooms and why I shoot with primes in the first place. I only like f2 if the lens is 50mm or longer because I always wanted the option for beautiful bokeh even if I don't use it, and of course low ISO. Is f2.5 a deal breaker for 40mm? A minimum focusing distance of 28cm mean you can get really close for blurry backgrounds. Is the bokeh the prettiest? No, but you can still recognize what the blurred out elements are supposed to be. Travel should be about the environment, and this will make me walk a bit further, explore new neighborhoods in Tokyo to get an interesting frame within 40mm. During the day, f2.5 is totally usable, and at night a shutter speed of 1/50 or IBIS should all keep ISO low. The neon lights of Tokyo will take care of everything else. This lens broke my bias towards slower lenses, but none of that matters if the image quality suffers. On the day, my suit wasn't tailored, my voice was still high and squeaky, but the thing that made me the most uncomfortable during my first job interview was how normal everything was. Everyone acted professional. A 9 to 5 was actually a 9 to 5. No one stayed till 10 o'clock at night. These weren't scientists. Every question they asked during the interview was on the page given to me, not a trick question designed to test me. The other job was in science, and that interview was more my speed. I was put through the ringer, asked all the tough questions, but that wasn't the hard part. That came a week later, when both recruiters for the 2 jobs called to say, the job is yours if you want it. Now it was up to me. Who did I want to be when I grow up? Why didn't I go for the 35mm f1.8 for Sony? It is an older lens, a bit heavier, a bit more expensive, yet no aperture ring, a little soft in the corners compared to both this 40mm and my f1.4 35G Master. And Sony packed it with their latest tech, 2 linear motors compatible with maximum burst shooting speeds and tracking autofocus demands on their latest bodies. Lenses aren't just optics anymore, they're tiny supercomputers that get outdated and updated with each new cycle. Also helps to explain why it's so expensive. But the ever so slightly better image quality and feature set is not the reason I chose 40 over the 35. I did this to avoid the final bad habit in decision making, the status quo bias. The status quo, our comfort zone, can be too powerful to resist, and it's why I ended up taking that job in size 15 years ago rather than leave the industry I knew best. It was going to be tough. Lofty expectations I'll never be able to meet, but it was better the devil I knew. This is not a complaint. I'm very grateful for my ongoing years as a scientist, and I still don't think it was a wrong choice. But 15 years later, it's been 15 years, I need to decide what happens next. Do I stay or do I go? Was it genuine job satisfaction or the inertia of the status quo that kept me here all along? I want to be more comfortable being uncomfortable and hope I can get there before I turn 40. Compared to life-altering career decisions, choosing lenses doesn't seem so hard anymore. I love 35mm just like I love 50, but the reason I went with the 40mm is because I already owned a 35mm lens, the f1.4G Master. Two 35s would have made packing my camera bag even more complicated, never breaking the status quo of my creative boundaries. That's why my current plan is to have this 40mm glued onto my camera for most of the Japan trip, impossibly light, optically great, more immersed in every moment. But of course, plans can change. There's still 4 weeks left and my testing is not yet done. I love the 40mm experience so much that I bought a different camera specifically to shoot 40mm on, the new cult classic Nikon ZF, my answer to the Fuji X100VI, which you can find in the next video here when it's ready to go. If anyone is based in the Asia Pacific region and has had their Ricoh GR fixed, can you please message me with the details? You can support the channel by liking and subscribing, using my affiliate links to purchase any of the interested camera gear that you might want. That's it for now. I'm Jack, trying to capture the peace in each moment.